Alright, so who's ready for some recap on Gears of War? Because I know I've forgotten half the shit that's happened.
Let's hear it. What you got?
It's been a long time between the first one and the sixth game really, Gears of War 5.
Yes.
Coming out in September. I'm excited. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a big recap on everything that's happened across all the games and all the backstory and everything. You know, not in too much detail, but just enough with all the key events and everything to get you up to speed for Gears of War 5. So we're going to start about 80 years before... No, not even. About 95 years before Gears of War 1. Dickhead. And we've got all the humans. They're on this planet called Serra. They're in a civil war. There's no fuel, not enough fuel for all the people. Population's growing out of control. They can't keep up. They finally broker a peace, and then they find this super fuel called emulsion. It's this yellow shit that you see a lot of in the games, especially later on in 2 and 3. And it's this naturally occurring super fuel, and it's brilliant. The problem is, some people have it and some people don't. And that creates another civil war called the Pendulum Wars, you may have heard of them, between the UIR, the Union of Independent Republics, and the COG, the Coalition Order of Governments. So, 79 years this war ends up going for.
Crazy.
The UIR developed this super weapon called the Hammer of Dawn, and basically, they point a little laser somewhere, and then, like a little laser pointer, and then a fucking laser from a satellite comes down and just blows the shit out of whatever they're pointing at.
I like it.
So, they develop this weapon, all good, they're going to win the war. Step in Marcus Phoenix, Dominic Santiago, and Victor Hoffman, all recurring characters throughout Gears of War. They do a raid on a UIR compound, steal this weapon, then blow up one of the UIR's boats and say, surrender, or we're going to do that to everyone. So they surrender. All good. Backstory done. 6 weeks later, after this peace is finally broken, after an 79-year war, 6 weeks later, Emergence Day. And that's where Gears of War Judgment takes place around about then, so...
Yes. Well, there's this invasion of these creatures called locusts.
Yeah.
Very cool.
They don't look like locusts though, they
No, they're big.
sort of look like grey lizard men. I'm sure if you're ready to play Gears of War 5, you know all about the locusts, so we won't...
They're reptilian of some sort.
Yeah.
Alright, so Colonel Ezra Loomis has accused a squad called
Kilo Squad.
Kilo Squad, exactly right, of treason because they used a light mass missile to... they were unauthorized and they used it and killed a bunch.
I mean, I think that's fair enough. If this squad has just used a big ass missile to kill a bunch of things, they've been told not to.
They were blatantly told not to. And
Right. So who's part of Kilo Squad?
So, you have Damien Baird.
Damon Baird.
Damon Baird. Augustus Cole.
Coltrane.
There's a couple others.
A couple others as well, but we don't care about them.
They're the main two.
They're the main two.
Two good guys. Right, so each level that you play throughout this game is recalling why they're on trial.
Why they're on trial.
used
What
this
happened?
assault. Right. So basically, they were ordered to check out a convoy, an old convoy that was destroyed in Old Town.
Yep.
They get in a fight with a bunch of locusts, basically, and they're fighting their way through. Anyway, they find themselves having to use the bomb against orders to kill a general, a locust
A
general.
local locust general.
Fearsome, right?
Big badass.
His name is Khan, General Khan, right? Yeah, Loomis says we can't use it, basically, but they realise how dangerous this Khan bloke is.
So Baird's like, fuck you, Loomis, we're gonna use it anyway.
Pretty much. So they pursue to get the missile against orders, and after numerous battles throughout Seahorse and the Onyx Guard Academy, which I hear is quite...
They're like the elite of the elite in the COG troopers. The Onyx Guards are just like, they're the badass. They're the Delta Force, they're the Navy SEALs, all combined into one. They're
Locusts have just... They're scattered everywhere. They're taking over all these different areas. They're trying to take over Serra.
Yeah, the whole planet.
The whole planet. Planet is Serra.
Yes, said that.
Yes. So anyway, back to the courtroom. They're doing all that stuff. Anyway, as they're about to get executed,
You know, as you do.
a swarm of locusts come in and save the day.
Oh, how's that
This
for
is-
timing?
I know, great timing. So anyway, Loomis and Kilo fight their way to a nearby King Raven.
It's a big helicopter.
Yes. And they find out Khan isn't dead.
He's not dead.
He survived.
So they did this whole missile,
He is a
nearly
badass.
got executed for nothing.
Fucking badass, right? So after a grueling battle against him, they end up running into him again.
Yeah.
The Lieutenant Bed and Loomis himself actually end up killing Khan.
Right.
Yes, and then in the end,
Is he actually dead this time?
he
is actually dead this time. Good.
right? But in the end, Loomis is like, "Fuck yeah, you still use the missile." So you're getting demoted to Private. Private Damon Bed.
Private Damon Baird.
Yes, for his disobedience.
Right.
Yes.
And yeah, around about that same time as all that's happening, Marcus Phoenix, you know, the guy who ended the Pendulum Wars,
Yes.
he launches an unauthorized raid, well, not a raid, a rescue mission to save his father against orders.
Save his father.
Save his father.
Right.
Fails. Father's dead. That's a massive bummer.
That sucks.
That's a massive bummer. Gets back and they go, "You disobeyed orders. We're sending you to jail."
That's a bit harsh.
I mean, they try to kill Baird and Cole, so
I mean, it's a recurring theme in these
yes.
games, I feel.
So 14 years pass. The war's still going. Wars on this planet just don't fucking end.
Fair enough.
So Marcus is in jail. Cog's like, well, I've kind of run out of men. Marcus Phoenix is a good soldier. Disobeyed orders once. We'll get him back. We'll make him a private. Like, you know, we won't give him any command or anything or any power, but he can go in. He goes in a squad with Lieutenant Kim. Kim dies pretty much straight away.
Great. Good love.
First mission, they're ordered to map out some tunnels. And, yeah, they go down and Kim dies. Straight away. Not even in the tunnels yet, just in the... So, Phoenix and his good friend Dominic Santiago, also part of that raid initially to get the Hammer of Dawn. They meet up with two people we've already heard about. Damon Baird and Augustus Cole.
Right.
Right, and so at this point, it's worth mentioning the whole planet is fucked.
Yes.
So after E-Day, after Emergence Day, the Cog's like, well, if we can't have these cities, we don't want the Locusts to have them, have some fortifications or whatever. So they all went back up to this plateau, the Jacinto Plateau, and then used the Hammer of Dawn on their own cities. So the majority of the country, majority of the planet is just this wasteland.
Fair enough.
Right. So, before then, go down into the tunnels, trying to map the tunnels. Dom is also looking for his family. He hasn't seen his family in a long time. They've gone missing. They successfully map out the tunnels, and they launch some light mass bombs. You know,
Right.
Damon Baird and Augustus Cole have some experience doing that. They do that and it works. They kill a bunch of the Locusts, right? That's Gears of War 1. Gears of War 2. Dom's still looking for his family. Still hasn't found him.
Poor bloke.
Poor bloke. Poor bloke indeed.
Does it continue right after?
Yeah. Myra, a Locust leader, Locust general. Queen Myra. Queen, not general. She's a queen. She regroups what's left of the Locusts. And her plan is if they can't win on the surface, she's got this big ass worm, and she's going to eat out the foundations of all the Cog cities and collapse them. They're going to sink down into like a massive sinkhole. It's going to fuck up the Cog, and they can win. They can take over by doing that.
Right. Is this Mira or Myra? Is she a human?
She is. She's she's like half human, half locust. She's a strange one.
Eerie. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Marcus and his group are sent into the tunnels to stop them from doing this. And that's when Marcus makes the discovery that the emulsion, the super fuel, it actually mutates the locusts into these glowing zombie type things called the lambent. And that's the whole reason for the whole war. So locusts were perfectly happy underground. But
Until they
because the humans were mining all this fuel, it's like escaped, and it's made their underground tunnels uninhabitable because there's all these like zombies running around basically. So that's why the locusts have come up to the surface, because they're trying to escape it.
Do the lamberts attack the locusts as lamberts attack everything?
They attack everything.
Right.
So they go through the tunnels. Doesn't work. Does not work at all. But while they're down there, Dom finds his wife
Hallelujah.
in a prison camp.
Oh.
She's been tortured to the point where she doesn't even recognize him. Turns out she exiled herself. Her parents and their kids, their two kids, they all died on Emergence Day. She was heartbroken. She was devastated, so she just basically ran away. Exiled herself, was captured, tortured. She doesn't even recognize Dom. Dom has to do the right thing
It has been like 14 years, he says.
and euthanize her.
Right.
It's messed up, man. That really fucks Dom up. So, it's not working. And now they've got this added problem of the lambent. So Marcus comes up with a plan. Seems like he's the only one doing any fucking work in this government, or coalition of
He's
governments.
only there to end wars, that's his job.
So, his plan is, let's sink our last remaining city.
How's that gonna happen?
Because then all the ocean will flood their tunnels and kill all the locusts and the lambent. So what they do is they go back to the Jacinto Plateau. They flood it, they blow it up, jump on some helicopters, jump on some ships, whatever they can, floods out the tunnels, kills so many locusts, so many lambent. All's good. Woo. Yay. 18 months later, Gears of War 3.
Yes.
COG has disbanded.
Fair enough, and no war to fight.
No city, no government, no nothing. The lambent, though, they survived.
How?
They survived everything, man.
The zombies, I guess.
So now they're the main problem. The locusts, they're scattered across the wastelands where all the cities are destroyed by big ass satellite lasers. But the lambent, they're a pain in the ass. So now, Marcus, Dominic, Marcus's sister, they're all on this boat. Dominic is a big, sad, depressed man, just growing his garden, got the whole beard and depressed look going.
He did lose his family
He did lose his family
after searching for them for a long time.
for a long time, 14 years. So, Marcus's father sends him a message.
As if his dad's still around.
Not dead.
Right.
Marcus, you fool, you thought he was dead, he isn't, he's alive. He sends them a message saying, I have a way to eradicate all of the lambent and all of the locusts for good. But you gotta come to this island named Azura that's like ages away, but you can't really get to without having to fight through thousands of locusts. Seems fair?
As you do? Yeah.
Yep. So they go for it. Marcus and friends fight across the wastelands until they get to Mercy, Maria's hometown, Dominic's wife.
He's depressed as it is.
So
Come on,
depressed.
guys.
He tells them that they need to stop for fuel. It's fair enough. He can take it, and they actually stop at the tomb, and Dominic puts her necklace and his cog tags, his dog tags,
Yeah.
on the tomb.
No.
Yeah. And then, they get into some trouble. They get surrounded by locusts and lambent. Hundreds. Because all the people of this town, they've been infected. So now there's lambent humans.
Jeez.
So,
Is it this same fuel that's infected?
the emulsion. Bright yellow fuel. So, Dominic realizes they don't have a chance of escaping. So he yells at everyone to jump off the building that they're on top of. And he gets in this big ass fuel truck and he drives the fuel truck into the building, blows up, kills himself and the hundreds of locusts and Lambert everywhere. Saves the rest of them. So that's good. Good on him.
Good sacrifice, yeah.
Rest in peace, Dom.
He's had a hard life.
He has. So, and he'd given Marcus his knife just like 10 minutes earlier to open a drain or something. And he hadn't had it back yet. So Marcus has his knife.
Right.
So the squad finally make it to Adam Phoenix, where he reveals his method for eradicating the Lambent and kill himself, because the only way he survived this long is he has himself become infected. But because he's a scientist, he's figured out how to halt the infection process. But he's infected, and this thing will kill him.
Yeah.
Queen Myra shows up, flying on a giant wasp thing. So, the crew shoot her out of the sky, and Marcus kills her using Dom's knife.
Jeez.
And then they fire this weapon. The energy pulse goes across the planet, kills Locust and Lambert, everything. Kills Adam. War's finally over.
Cool.
So we thought.
So we thought. 25 years after Gears of War 3, after the Emulsion countermeasure weapon was used to eradicate the Locusts and all fossil fuels.
It killed all the fuels as well.
Killed all the fuels as well, right?
no.
Wiped out most fossil fuels. It basically left the remaining humanity, a couple 100,000 people that were left, to have to adapt to a new way of living yet again.
Cannibalism?
Not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite, but it also caused these powerful windstorms to sweep the planet called wind flares.
Oh no.
So it's pretty hostile now. You've got wastelands, floods, no cities, everything. Anyway, so forcing COG to establish walled off cities, newly reformed COG, by the way, okay, to protect them. So they walled off cities.
Big ass city with a giant wall around it.
Pretty
to
much.
protect them from the planet.
Yeah, from different winds and the hostile environment that they've created, right?
Yeah.
With the little resources they have left, they have to protect themselves. You know. Anyway, but not all the population wanted to go with the COG's new policies.
They didn't want to live in the city.
Yeah, they didn't want to live contained. So
Yeah.
they formed villages and little things out in the open. They're known as the Outsiders, right?
The Outsiders.
So you got general civilization, COG lead to them, and the Outsiders. Right? So, cue your squad that you play throughout the game. You have JD, Phoenix,
Yeah.
who is Marcus' son.
Yeah, and the D, Dominic, named after Marcus's good friend.
Ah, right. Very emotional.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a friend called Delmont, and another friend called Kate. Kate Diaz.
Right.
They have been, they disagreed with the COG's policies and they left. Right?
It's interesting, Marcus,
I know.
Cog soldier, son going the opposite way.
Exactly. So he left and he's in this small village. They're just hanging out, doing their thing. Anyway, so they go on a raid of a COG settlement that's under construction to steal a special fabricator. So help their village. Just
They need it.
they need it, right?
Cog have it.
So that's cool. Which, that's cool. They go with Kate, they go with Delmont. It's all good. They get there. Anyway, they come back and the new leader of the newly reformed COG, Leader Jin, confronts them and says, "Why'd you kidnap all our people? Why'd you do this?"
Why'd they do it?
They're confused as hell going, "What are you on about, mate?" And then COG, do a full-on assault on their village, right? So they're fighting off this government agency. All these soldiers and stuff, these village people are just like, "Oh, what's going on?" Anyway, so they fend them off, and then just as that's all done, right? They get raided by these new weird creatures dubbed the Swarm.
Wow.
Right?
Always the weird creatures.
Yes.
Let's just stay on Earth. I don't want to have to fight aliens on Serra. Let's just stay on Earth.
I know, it's pretty great. Anyway, so
The Swarm.
the Swarm,
What do these guys look like?
pretty lizard-like as well.
Lizard-like
They're
as
pretty
well.
crazy. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so they all get fucked up. everyone in the village gets kidnapped or whatever. JD, Delmont, Kate, and a couple others, they get locked in this protection building, I guess. They get spared. Not spared, but they can't get access.
Like
so
detained.
Detained, yeah. So the swarm eventually they go on their merry way. Anyway, so JD's like, fuck, what do we do now?
Time to get Dad?
Exactly. He goes to Marcus, his dad, who reluctantly doesn't want to help him because he said, don't join the cog. Because he said don't leave the cog or something. Anyway, he disobeyed what his dad advised him to do.
Come on, JD. It's
I
Marcus
know.
fucking
I know.
Phoenix. You listen to that guy. He's killed a million different
And he
people.
ended
Aliens.
2 wars.
Ended 2 wars. Listen to that man.
I know. Alright, so. Yeah, so Marcus takes JD, Delmont, Kate, and Co. to Fort Rebel, where Locust corpses were buried. So once all Locusts died 25 years ago, they buried them all in different tombs.
Right.
So there's all these bodies
Yeah.
everywhere.
So once that weapon went off at the end of Gears of War 3,
Yes.
all the bodies were just lying around and they buried them all in mass graves at certain sites around
Exactly.
the planet.
Anyway, so they run into a snatcher who kidnaps Marcus, right?
Ooh.
And leads JD to learn that the swarm also kidnapped the cog members that they got blamed for why the village got attacked, right? Which is crazy. Anyway, JD, Delmont, and Kate escape. They manage to track down and free Marcus, who reveals the swarm is in fact the Locusts.
They're back.
They are, right? Who for 25 years underwent a long-term metamorphosis, evolving into the swarm. So they evolved.
They evolved. So they didn't actually die, they were just having a little snooze.
Pretty much.
Got in their little
They went dormant for a little bit.
cocoon and they've emerged as this beautiful butterfly.
Kind of. Ugly.
This
Very, very
beautiful, ugly butterfly.
Ugly.
Ugly.
butterfly. So yeah, so the swarm are pretty crazy. Anyway, they're a hive. They run on a hive
Like a
basis.
hive mind.
Hive mind, yeah.
So you kill the boss and they all die.
Kind of, yeah. So they have this network, right? What they're doing, kidnapping people. They're basically using them. They're harvesting them to help create more creatures. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. But in the original battle with the village, Kate's mum, Raina, got kidnapped. Raina Diaz, right? She also has a brother-in-law named Oscar, who also got kidnapped. Right? We don't really hear from him. Anyway, long story short, they go, okay, we've got Marcus. We're gonna go save Raina. What do we do? They arrive at a swarm hive that used to be a locust burial.
Right. Yep.
They
Makes
turned
sense.
it into
A hive.
a hive. The swarm have evolved and they've turned this burial place into a hive. Anyway, so there's way too many creatures. Of
Well, yeah,
the swarm.
it's a hive.
Exactly.
It's going to be like thousands of them.
Yeah, they can't penetrate this hive, right? So they call, or Marcus calls for the assistance of none other than Baird, Augustus, and another chick called Byrne.
Sam Burns.
Sam Byrne, yeah.
I think she is, she's one of the characters in Gears of War 3.
Right. Anyway, so those three come back. So the original two, Damon Baird and
Coltrane!
Augustus Coltrane. Yeah, they come and they help, but they bring mech suits.
Mech suits.
Yes. They
Yes.
bring suits.
The big suits.
The big suits.
Yes,
So-
they're in Gears of War 3 as well.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
So JD and I believe Kate, they get in those, and they blast through. The others are off killing shit. They break into the hive. They find Raina. She's already kind of harvested, kind of.
Yeah.
She's in the network. She's connected to the network.
Yeah.
They can like read what the swarm are, I guess, sending messages to each other. Anyway, and she's like, look, it's too late for me. If I get disconnected from this network, I'm dead. She'll die because she's perished. Heaps.
Yeah.
So she basically asks Kate,
Her daughter.
her daughter, can you...
Does she?
Asks her daughter, who obliges and kills her mum.
This. Oh my god.
Again,
Epic Games.
dark, right?
Why do you love making people kill their loved ones?
Pretty crazy.
Brutal.
Anyway, so yeah, she requests to have a daughter. That's pretty awful. Anyway, after her mother's death, she inherits a amulet from her mother, handed down through her generation. So her mum had it,
Yeah.
and so on. Anyway, there's this symbol on there, and it resembles the Locust Queen, Mira, alluding to the fact that Rhaenyra's mum is Mira,
Queen Mira.
Queen Mira, and Kate is the granddaughter of
Queen
the
Mira.
Locust Queen.
Right.
That's chilling, right? So that's pretty crazy. Anyway, they all get out of there. There's still the swarm around, which is pretty crazy. And after the credit scene and all that sort of stuff, you find out that Oscar has cut himself free of the network somehow. He was kidnapped from the village.
Kate's uncle.
Kate's uncle.
Yeah.
Anyway, he is also related to Queen.
Yeah.
So they've left it open-ended a little bit. So
Right.
lots of stuff going on. But yeah,
Lots of stuff to be concluded in Gears of War 5.
Marcus still around, still a badass.
Coltrane still around. Damon Baird still around.
All badasses. How they've fought for like 50 years, I don't know. But
Yeah, well, at this stage, Marcus has got to be like 70 years old.
yeah,
Had like 7 hip replacements,
He's
and he's
hella
still
old.
going
Hella old.
around curb stomping locusts. Like,
pretty much.
crazy. Anyway, Gears of War 5 out September 10. I can't wait. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be playing through it, the whole game. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you again.